The night sky trembled on July 1st, 2025, when a new point of light blinked onto a survey camera in Chile that was part of the Asteroid Terrestrial Impact Last Alert System, also known as ATLAS. To veteran astronomers, this was mundane. ATLAS spots fast-moving objects all the time. But the track behind this one was different. Its curve didn't match what a solar system body would do. Its velocity was far too high, and its orbital path far too hyperbolic. In short, this visitor came from outside of our solar system, and thus it was christened 3I Atlas, the third confirmed interstellar object ever observed.
By the way, models for the formation of our solar system suggest that we might have been born with many more planets than 8. Upwards of a dozen, 15, 20, possibly as many as 30 planets started in this solar system, many of which had unstable orbits, crashed into Jupiter, crashed in the sun, or got ejected. You get ejected with higher speed that could be contained by the sun. They're out there somewhere. We think that happens in every star system that formed. So some of that junk at some point is likely to pass through our star system.
Detecting 3I Atlas was a matter of both persistence and luck. Atlas telescopes survey large swaths of the sky nightly, flagging moving objects, and this one appeared faint, and then sharper, and then brighter. Rapid follow-ups by other observatories confirmed its hyperbolic orbit. 3I Atlas would come in, swing past the sun, and then depart again. From the moment it was discovered, astronomers scrambled telescopes, Hubble, ground-based instruments, spectrometers to catch as much data as possible before it vanished into the darkness again. Early images revealed a faint glow of dust and gas, suggesting it was of a cometary nature. But already something odd. The tail was weak, the gas signatures are muted, and the scattering behavior didn't match expectations for a typical ice and dust comet. Estimates for the nucleus size varied wildly. From Hubble, a conservative upper bound was about 3.5 miles across. But other estimates, depending on how much of the brightness comes from diffuse icy fragments versus the actual core, allowed for diameters as low as a few kilometers and as high as 10. Despite uncertainty, its mass appeared orders of magnitude greater than that of the previous interstellar objects. And as 3I Atlas approached the inner solar system, even more surprises began to pop up.
So far, there are 7 anomalies of this unusual object. The size is very large. It's larger of all the size of Manhattan Island, about 1,000 times more massive than the previous interstellar comet, about 33 billion tons, at least that mass. There was a jet coming out of this object towards the sun. Unlike a cometary tail that usually goes away from the sun, there was an unusual chemical composition containing mostly nickel without iron. There was a polarization of light never seen before for comets, and the trajectory of 3I Atlas is aligned with the plane of the planets around the sun. The arrival time was fine-tuned to come very close to Mars today, and later to Jupiter and Venus. And and also I noticed that the arrival direction of 3I Atlas was coincident with the direction from where we got the most powerful radio signal back in 1977 that was called the WOW signal, still unresolved.
From Sagittarius.
The anomalies surrounding 3I Atlas keep building as it gets closer. It has a weak tail and a muted gas signature, and has been subliminating water vapor, carbon monoxide, and carbon dioxide, all of which are commonly seen in our own space flights. Observers noted that 3I Atlas has shifted colors multiple times, changing from a reddened hue to a green tint, and as it's gotten closer, the suddenness of those changes is what has startled scientists. And while it was changing colors, the brightness of the gas cloud suddenly became brighter than what we'd ever expect for a comet of this size. And in fact, now, there's a cloud of gas streaming backwards. Typically, gas is shed off of a comet and make a trail in the wake of its travel. However, with 3I Atlas, we see a new cloud of gases jetting out from the front of whatever the object is, and some scientists have speculated if this could be signs of maneuvering or some kind of propulsion means. In one of the more evocative anomalies, 3I Atlas exhibits slight deviations from a purely gravitational trajectory, which hints at internal forces at work. Exactly what those are, we can only speculate. But this is exactly what we also saw with our first interstellar visitor, Oumuamua. And altogether, the anomalies pile up. For some, these are just puzzles of comet science, but for others, the more speculative circle, they raise a greater possibility. Could 3I Atlas be a cosmic craft, maybe even disguised as a comet? Avi Loeb and others have urged caution against dismissing this possibility outright, and have stressed that we already have a tiny sample of interstellar objects. And when one shows anomalies, it's not unscientific to ask whether it might carry signs of a technological origin. One provocative idea even connects the 3I Atlas object with the famous WOW radio signal of 1977. Now we know the signal came from the same direction and same region of space as 3I Atlas. It came from Sagittarius. In the months ahead, astronomers around the world race to capture every photon coming from 3I Atlas before it slips back into its interstellar darkness. The narrative itself is thrilling, a wander from the stars, a puzzle in motion. It's every anomaly a clue or a possible trap. If it's just a comet, its oddities will become understood, and the catalog of cometary diversity in science will expand. If it hides something more, then our entire understanding of interstellar visitors, and perhaps our cosmic neighborhood, will be forever transformed.